Senator Jeff Flake says they have a bipartisan deal on DACA in principle, but others like Senator Tom Cotton in the White House say he's getting a little ahead of himself. This proposal doesn't meet the standards set by the president, but they are close. Let's bring in former Minnesota governor and current CEO of Financial Services Foundation, Tim Pawlenty. Governor, great to see you. How could an immigration deal affect the midterm elections coming up?
Well, as you know, it's a very sensitive issue on both sides of the aisle. So if it's done poorly or ham-fistedly, it could backfire on both sides or one side or the other, depending on the details.
Now, so far, the president's base, I think you'd agree with me, has been extraordinarily loyal to him, whatever that base is, whether it's 30% to 40%, something around that. But this is something that the base is even divided on. Let me just play a little tape from Laura Ingram's show last night, because I think she's a member of that base. Listen to this.
I'm going to wait to see what the final DACA proposal looks like. But if it does not include a wall, a real wall, not a see-through wall, expect a political revolt from the base, which means losing the House and maybe even losing the Senate. And by the way, chain migration, absolutely necessary.
Rebellion from the base, is that possible?
Yeah, I think Laura's comments that you just showed in some previous shows that she's been on, where she said, here's her conditions for a DACA deal, reflects sort of the thinking and the expectations of the base. And if the Congress, the Republican-controlled Congress, or the administration substantially disappoints in that regard, there will be a boomerang. There's no question about it.
Now, reading through all the political papers, which I have to do every morning, it's part of my job. I don't relish the moment in my life, but there's this phrase that keeps coming up about a wave election. The Democrats are going to have a wave election, et cetera. I assume that they want that to happen and that they would avoid anything that could interfere with a wave election if it's going to happen. And frankly, I don't happen to agree with it. But coming to some kind of deal with the president could work against that goal, could it not, for the Democrats?
Well, if you're in the shoes of the Democrats, I suppose, in the sense that it would take off some of the pressure within their own base if there's a DACA deal. However, they also, I think, would be held accountable if they don't get a deal from that same group. So they're in an awkward or difficult spot as well.
Now, they're also in an awkward spot with regard to the Senate races that are coming up, because, correct me if I'm wrong in the math, but the Republicans only have 8 Senate races to worry about. The Democrats have something like 26. So the odds, to quote the Hunger Games, the odds are in the Republicans' favor, no?
Yeah, and in the most competitive seats, if you think about West Virginia, you think about Indiana, you think about North Dakota, Wyoming, and a few others.
Or if you think about the state that you're from, Minnesota. I mean, Al Franken is no longer in the U.S. Senate. He has a replacement, Tina Smith, but she's pretty new. Would you be interested in that seat?
Well, I was making the point that the states that I mentioned are Trump states, and they're red states. So the ability for the Democrats to defend incumbents in those states is going to be very challenging. And then there may be some pickup opportunities as well. Maybe Minnesota is one of those. But we also have to be realistic and be true and candid about what the environment is. The national ballot preference between Democrats and Republicans now substantially favors the Democrats, according to Real Clear Politics. Hopefully this good economic news and the effects of the tax bill, that will change between now and the election. But right now it appears to be, surprisingly, a very hostile environment for Republicans in swing states, light blue states. Maybe that'll change as the economy and the tax bill effects improve.
Governor, that was a wonderful answer, but it didn't answer that single question that I ended my question with, which is, are you going to run for the U.S. Senate in Minnesota?
It is a very daunting proposition. It's a light blue state, even though President Trump came very close to winning Minnesota in a, if he's the high watermark in terms of the Republican vote recently, he lost in Minnesota. He got close, but he lost. So it's very challenging. So it gives me great pause to think about that. How
a pause, but you're not
is.
ruling it out, huh?
I am not ruling it in, and I'm not leaning towards doing it.
All right, we'll let you off the hook. Governor, thank you very much for coming in. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.